Hi all, let's have another amazing game in a chess nutshell. Paul Morphy playing against Alonzo Morphy. This is 1848. Yes, Alonzo Morphy is his dad. So Paul Morphy, who was born 1837, which means that this game in 1848, he's around 11 years old, playing against his dad. Some bio at chessgames.com here. Paul Charles Morphy was born in New Orleans. This game was played in New Orleans. He was the son of a successful lawyer and judge, Alonzo Morphy. His uncle, Ernest Morphy, claims that no one formally taught Morphy how to play chess, but rather he learned the rules by observing the games between himself and Alonzo. When Morphy was only 12 years old, Lowenthal visited New Orleans and, at the behest of his father, agreed to play a casual match with the prodigy. Young Paul won 2.5 to 1/2. In 1857, Paul Morphy won the first American Chess Congress with a dominating performance, and that was followed by a European trip where he met and triumphed over most of the prominent masters of the period, namely Adolf Anson, who he defeated +7, lost 2 and drew 2. That was the Anson-Morphy match of 1858, 10 years after this game. So Morphy was around 21. Lowenthal in Morphy-Lowenthal and Daniel Harwitz in Morphy-Harwitz as well. He won those matches. Upon returning to America, he announced his retirement from chess. So although the official title of world champion didn't exist at the time, Morphy is regarded as the strongest player of his day. Even today his games are studied for their principles of open lines and quick development. So his influence on the modern game is undeniable. Mikhail Botvinnik wrote of his influence. His mastery of open positions was so vast that little new has been learned about such positions after him. Jessica Fisher-Queen's got some excellent YouTube documentaries. I'll put that in the description of this video. So let's have a look at this game. Paul Morphy playing white. E4. His dad replies E5. We have bishop C4. This is the bishop's opening. So usually knights before bishops. F5. Very aggressive from his dad. E takes knight F6. Knight C3. Trying to stop D5. But black plays it here. But already, actually, a great tactic is played. Knight takes D5. This is a brilliant tactic in this particular situation because of this weak diagonal. If black takes this, which he didn't, he played actually bishop C5, but if takes, then check is really bad for black. Give you some examples. G6 and knight F6 falls to G7 check, and queening with taking the rook is much better for white. So this is terrible, this position. If king E7 as another example, then D4 threatening bishop G5 check, the knight goes back, and then D takes. This is too much for black to bear, really. If queen E8, best is probably queen F3, and then D takes. White's got a massive position. Those are two examples. So basically it's bad news if black takes here. So a brilliant tactical shot already from Morphy, the young Paul Morphy. Bishop C5 is played. White took on F6 and now plays D3. The interesting thing here after bishop takes F5 is positionally White's got to control the dynamic play on the F file. That can be pretty dangerous. But also you'll notice this isolated pawn. It'd be nice to blockade it. Paul Morphy kind of achieves both these goals in his play now. After bishop G4, bishop D5, a good stabilizing move for the F file, and also a good blockade square is found soon on E4. So this lovely isolated pawn from White's perspective is nicely blockaded. The F file pressure is nicely parried. Knight D7, H6, C3, black castles queenside. Now Morphy knows how to open the lines up. He plays B4, now A4. So is it going to be A5 or B5? After A6 we have queen B3. B5 would seem to also improve the bishop though. Bishop takes, and now G5, trying to put some pressure maybe on the F file. Bishop E3 neutralizes things. It'll be unwise for black to take because this F file could be useful for white. We have g4 trying to get some sort of g-file counterplay at the cost of a pawn. Bishop c7, bishop drops back. Now black's first threat of the game actually is queen takes f3. That's noticed. The bishop moves out of the firing line because of that horrible pin. So, and lovely blockade square, it's attacking and defending. And you'll notice this property of another piece coming up in Morphy's position pretty soon. After this move, rook g4, f3 means the rook can defend and attack for b5, f3. So even if black now doubles, it could also, of course, this one could be used as well. It's not a big deal, the g-file. A takes, white is meanwhile opening up lines here. After b takes c6, yes, this is getting pretty bad now. Black's getting torn to shreds. Doubling rooks, rather tokeny because rook f2 now. Desperate defense, queen d8, but now an elegant tactical move showing Morphy's tactical abilities as well. But look, I mean, he's already got a dominating position with these bishops beautifully centralized, and his rooks are totally flexible, and he's really ripped open the lines to shreds. But there's a nice tactic here that's played. If I give you 5 seconds, what would you play with white starting from now? Okay, rook a8 check. Yeah, very, very forcing and clinical. If takes, then queen takes his mate. So black plays bishop b8, which is a weakness of the last move. The b6 is neglected. That's taken. Black desperately tries this to try and get maybe a perpetual check. But Morphy plays a very neat move here. Poor Morphy. King h1, which means the bishop can come back to g1. No more checks, and black's in for the slaughter over here. So Alonzo resigned against his son, who he must also be very proud of as well, to play such a game with the white pieces. Nice positional play, nice flexible play of attacking and defensive pieces simultaneously, the bishop, the rook. Nice opening of lines, nice tactic. There's a lot of mastery already expressed by the 11-year-old Paul Morphy in this game. I think you'll agree. Okay, comments, questions, likes, appreciated. Thanks very much.